Okay.
And welcome back to Blockbuster Bums. Kick back your recliner, crack open a beer, and let's talk movies. And today's movie is none other than Skyfall, the third movie in the Daniel Craig Bond movies, excuse me. And so, as we, like I said, we continue the Daniel Craig series here, the last Bond as of right now. Skyfall, his third rendition. Um, Solid movie. Ray, you want to give us a little summary here, sir?
Sure. When James Bond latest assignment goes terribly wrong, it leads to a calamitous turn of events. Undercover agents around the world are exposed, and MI6 is attacked, forcing M to relocate the agency. With MI6 now compromised inside and out, M turns to the one man she can trust, Bond. Aided only by a field agent, who is Moneypenny, Bond takes to the shadows and follows a trail to Silva, a man from M's past who wants to settle an old score.
Thank you, Ray. All right, let's get to it here, gentlemen. Tom, what did you think of your rewatch of Skyfall?
I actually really enjoyed it. Like I went into it with, well, I tried to go into it with a more positive attitude this time. Like just because the whole I don't know, I'm the biggest fan of the Craig movies. Like in general, I'll say it. I'll just be honest about it. There's a bias and all, but I really did enjoy it, even from the opening sequence on, like when he falls into the water, like leading to like literally fall from the sky into the intro and all that. Like, and not even a big Adele fan, but I think she did a decent job with the intro and how it went down. Like, so it was even a decent little homage to like the old Bonds in my mind too, because you kind of got more back and forth banter throughout the movie, and even some of the cinematography shots I really liked. Like when he's coming down the hall and like you see just boom the
Mm-hmm.
light on the eyes and like little modern shots. Like, but it's definitely been my favorite Craig one so far. I think.
Yeah, I do also really like the eyes coming out of the darkness. I thought that was a cool shot. Barry, what did you think of your first watch of Skyfall?
Yeah, I agree with Tom. I thought it was great. Um, I think I even enjoyed it more than Casino Royale. Like Tom, I'm not a big Daniel Craig fan. I don't dislike him, but there's just something about him that I don't quite see as James Bond. But I think the movie was great. I agree totally with a lot of the cinematography was just beautiful. Interesting things they did. One of the fight scenes and the background with the lighting and stuff on there with the big screen on
Oh,
the building was awesome.
the lighting throughout the movie I felt was great because if you notice different sequences, there was an entirely different color motif. It's like you had bright blue, bright yellow, like natural. Like it was like the lighting was done in chunks.
Mhm.
If you would think back through the movie,
Yeah,
like I like that.
yeah, and lots of great stuff. That stood out to me. Uh, you know, I thought it was just a really fun movie. Maybe they could have trimmed about 10 minutes off of it, but whatever. Fun movie.
Yeah.
It is almost 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ray, what did you think of your rewatch of Skyfall?
I thought it was a great movie, start, middle to end. To me, I felt like it was all about accepting the rules of the game. For most part, Bond accepted and respected him enough to where he stayed in somewhat confines of a boundary. And Silva coming back and telling his side of the story, and M kind of telling her side. He kind of overstepped. He didn't really know his boundary, and then by the end of the movie, he kind of wanted to be where Bond was, but he couldn't accept. He was a
Oh,
little too arrogant.
there was some weird psychology throughout that dynamic. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like
And Silva killed it as a well, Javier Bardem killed it as a Bond villain, I thought.
Oh yeah, by
Um,
far. I'll agree.
let's see.
He sold crazy very well. Like,
Right. And then the tone of the movie was kind of dark. Uh, the lighting and the cinematography, like you already talked about, it was pretty much throughout the whole movie, and you could feel certain parts, and we'll get into those certain parts later on, but you could feel it
yeah.
step by step by step throughout the whole thing. But yeah, for me, this is probably Daniel Craig's probably best one so far he's done.
All right. Well, I guess that leaves it to me. I thought this was a good movie. I really enjoyed watching it. It did get a little action flicky at times. A little shaky on the grounds of whether I was watching Bond or maybe Mission Impossible at times. But I did really enjoy it. It was fun. Um, and I thought that it was one of Craig's better movies. Definitely better than the last one. So yeah, I enjoyed it. All right. Well, let's talk about the movie a little bit more in depth, guys. Um, I
This
did. Sorry,
Scottish guy gets his own series from now on. That's what I think.
the Scottish guy.
Yeah, he needs his own series.
You're talking about
The
the
dude-
guy, the guy at the end.
Yeah, the innkeeper, everything.
No,
that new
this,
like
this is what I thought about
he,
this.
he needs his own series.
Kincaid, I think,
yeah,
was
yeah,
his
yeah.
name.
Like I'm calling. Needs his own series or own movie spinoff. I want to see it.
You know who that is, don't you? It's the guy that creates Jason Bourne in the Bourne series.
Is it really?
It's the same
Oh,
actor.
Yeah.
He creates Jason Bourne.
The voice. Yeah,
Hmm.
I did
Mhm.
not catch that.
Yep.
Either way, his one-liners and shit like that, and the foreshadowing with that character, like, loved it.
And there was like 3 times I was like, "Oh, he's dead," and then nope.
Oh yeah, that was my thing. Is like you generally don't kill that type of archetype and like character in those movies. It's like now you're the old lovable guy that like was like the old war horse type thing. It's like you generally don't kill that character. They're the one that like comes out of nowhere and saves people, or like I said in this case, like get the fuck out the room and he just leaves and all that. I'm glad they did that. Like they didn't ruin that part of the whole storyline, but I love that character.
Yeah, it's a good character.
Like,
Well, if we're gonna skip all the way to the end, we can go ahead and talk about it. What
there's a lot there.
what did you think of going to Bond's childhood home?
I Another big one that I loved that it was well, they did so much foreshadow, like the whole like orphans make the best recruits, like you're bringing them back to where it all started, so to speak, with the whole trauma they played up in the past movies. It's called Skyfall and all that. Like I love the fact that even when he's laying the old school weapons out on the table, like the knife and everything is what he ends up killing old boy with, literally stabbing him in the back. Like, and it's like you even like the old man told you it was gonna happen. Like the old ways are the best ways, and sat it down like, oh, so that's gonna be how the old boy dies. Like, thank you, old man. Like,
I was a little torn on it personally because I was like, we've been told in multiple movies that Bond was an orphan. So, I mean, that wasn't a surprise to anybody.
no.
But I don't know, I don't know, it was weird. The fact that Bond was rich and then gave it up to join MI6 and like
But did he give it up, or did his parents die, and then he had to go to a like a home or something?
his parents died and that other guy raised him,
Oh, the other guy. Okay.
Kincaid or whatever. Kind of like he's Batman.
No.
Kincaid's a Scottish Alfred. That's what it is. Like,
But I was just like, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't like upsetting or like I was like, oh my gosh, this ruined the movie or anything. I was just a little torn on it. Like, I don't know how I feel about Bond being a rich brat.
but I mean, that's kind of what they did to Craig's character throughout the series, though. Like, I don't know. You can tell that part of like influence at the time of the writing. That's all. Like, yeah, I would rather you not have done that to the character, but I get you're trying to show immaturity leading up to maturity, and that's why even like the very end, you walk into what we know is like Doctor No and all that, like office and everything. So it's like, all right, I get how we're up to speed, full circle at this point, but
Well, speaking of that, the only thing that bothered me about that scene is he didn't have a hat.
first time walking in. Like,
I was like, he's got to have a hat if he's
he
gonna
hadn't
walk into
accepted
that
hat
office.
culture yet in America. Like, that's a thing there. But no, I was just happy that they got the door right. Because I will say I was butthurt like movies ago when like they first shut that door and you didn't have that like leather sound padding on it and all. It's like, man, I like that. Like,
Right.
I don't know. It seemed like classy in its own weird little way. It's like you just don't see it. Like, and the fact that they brought it back, I'm like, all right, like you got it right. But no, like, but I mean, from the start, like honestly, you go back there, like I said from the intro, I loved how it went into where, like I said, you get that nice iconic shot and everything of him running down the
Mhm.
hallway. Like even sees the agent and like old girl's like screw him, go, like stay on task, like, and it even kind of like foreshadows even more
That's
like
what I was gonna
what
say.
kind of like is gonna happen and all that.
It
Like,
very much set up the whole plot
yeah,
of the show of her being like, no, let him die. Like, do your task. You know, like that. It really set up the whole movie right there at the very beginning. But I have written down here that I thought uh, it was the opening chase scene was very action hero-y, but he did throw in some Bond flair. And like, when when he get up off the ground, he would fix his suit before he'd walk off.
oh,
Uh,
the train part when like
Yeah.
after he chopped it and then
Yeah.
that was good. It-
He's obviously carrying the Walther PPK,
But I will
which
say
is Bond.
the part where I'll give you the Hollywood flick is during the motorcycle chase when he just rammed into the damn wall, like, and didn't even make like an effort to like get ready for it or anything. It's like you're just gonna take the hit, bro. And, like in the bike, if you even watch it, like landed and kept going.
Hmm.
Like I thought that was even kind of funny, but like I would say it would be little things like that to where it's like if you would have tweaked it, you could have kept it Bond-esque.
I felt like they in that scene or the opening scene, the chase scene, it really showed you like we've talked for movie after movie about the difference between like Bond and like other agents, like especially like new ones. And
Don't touch your ear, like
yeah, exactly. And this movie really played at that between him and Moneypenny because she just
you don't know it's her yet.
even when she's doing well, like in this open chase scene, she's not doing a bad job, but
No.
she's not even on the level of Bond. Like she's not even close. And then like she's constantly saying, "Oh, I've lost him, but Bond still got him," or "Hey, Bond's still in pursuit. What's going on? I don't know. I can't see it, but Bond's still there."
Yeah. Well, I think that just speaks to how like he's supposed to be as a character, like the tenacity of it, to where like, he is that agent that like does go that extra mile, and it's like, hey, he gets stuff done like some fucking how. Like, I mean,
Yeah, I thought it was good how they didn't try to make somebody like his equal,
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
something like
Or
that. He was
like that-
very much always, he's the man. You're the one. He's the one you're going to need to rely on. M or Kincaid or Moneypenny or whoever. They never tried to elevate those characters to Bond
yeah,
level,
they're not trying to make him an equal and all
which is something that I think happens in today's movies and so forth, where it's like, it doesn't make sense. This character
because
would
if
be
you just believe in yourself, Barry,
Right.
that's all that matters.
And
Like
so it's kind
it's
of refreshing
the
to see.
power within. Like-
Refreshing to see 12 years ago or whatever that they didn't do that.
Well, then what I liked about Bond, even with all that and that type of dynamic, even when he does pop back up, and sees the old girl like in her house, which I think is hilarious. That he broke into her place again and all that. But he's more offended that she like told Moneypenny to take the shot.
Yeah.
He's like, you didn't trust me to do it. Like, he's not mad that he got shot. He's mad that you didn't trust him to finish the job. Like,
Yeah.
even in that moment, he's still like in such work mode that it's like, motherfucker, I could have done it. Like, I'm mad at you because you didn't allow me to do my job. You got in my way. Like,
Yeah, like I mean, after
Yeah.
Quantum Solace, I thought that they were on the same page with each other at the ending, and then he go and get that shot pulled on him, and then he's just kind of confused, living it up the college lifestyle down in whatever island he was at.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
It looked fun. Like,
it's one of those things of like at the end of the conversation, she says, "I made the right call, and you know it." I don't think she's correct. I don't think he does know it. First off, and second off, I don't know it.
I thought she made the right call after she explained why she made the call. You know,
It was a right call. Bad shot.
and I
No, there was no shot.
No,
Bond
there was.
Bond was the one facing it. He had Bond from behind. He was completely covered up.
But wait, there was a shot, but it was before she asked, "Can I take the shot?" Because the dude was on the ground.
Yeah.
That's when she should have took the initiative and shot at the dude. But instead, an unexperienced field agent, once again, you know, and then she's waiting for the go ahead,
Well,
and
yes.
she took the bad shot.
Yes, yeah, you said it right there. We're talking about like the difference between a Bond agent and the other field agent is that hesitation.
Yeah.
Like I said, if she was more on Bond's level, she would never have asked. Like in that moment, it would have been.
Yeah,
You know
but
when to take
she
the shot.
but she doesn't have a license to kill. He does.
But once
Bond would have taken the shot originally because he's able to take that shot.
Bond has
She-
killed many times without that license before.
I don't know that we know that.
I think it's been. I think his license to kill has been revoked before in movies, and he's
Well,
still killed.
they did
Yeah.
revoke his license, yes.
But that-
But
but
then
that's why-
he was acting illegally. She wants her career afterwards.
But once again, not on the same level as Bond. Bond's acting on a higher level of like,
No, that's-
I'm gonna do my job.
That was my whole point.
Yeah.
Is that he has a license to kill and she doesn't. He's a higher ranked agent than she is.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like, even if he didn't have that license, he would still kill.
Maybe,
she
but
had direct order
But she asked.
to do it as well,
Yeah, she messed up.
to take the shot.
That's why she became a secretary.
Right.
Like,
well,
to
I think she
Bond.
became a secretary because she thought she killed Bond.
Oh, you know that messed with her. You know, yeah, I was gonna say, but you know that would. And all
It would
that.
mess with anybody. I mean,
And then on top of it, like I said, they take you out of the field after that, and like, especially when everybody probably kind of knew that old girl was grooming Bond to be like, you know, a double, high end 00 and stuff. It's like, you killed like her guy type thing. Like,
Yeah.
it probably wasn't good around the office for a bit. Like, I mean, yeah, I would take the
She
lead.
caught a ribbon or two.
Yeah, like I would, I'd take my 30 days. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna take some time.
well,
Like,
I think your point is proven during the course of the movie, Tom, because Bond is living on that island and everything goes to hell. I mean, nothing goes right for her, for M and MI6 after that. Until he comes back, the whole thing's a mess.
and just like a boomer, she opened an email she shouldn't. Like, it's like, I was rolling so much when I seen that. I was like, that is funny though. Like, it just,
You clearly don't click.
yeah, like you just don't open the email. It's workplace common knowledge now. Like,
She
just,
missed the training.
yeah, see, that's you got to show up. You can flex those hours out.
Yeah.
Like, no, like yeah.
So another thing I was trying to think of, guys, was it used to happen a lot, but I feel like it's been a while. When was the last time Bond died in the opening scene?
Yeah, I caught that too, and I kind of liked it. No, I liked the way they did it. It
Mhm.
wasn't goofy,
Yeah.
know, which I'm fine with goofy sometimes. This wasn't like goofy or like, you know,
Or it wasn't even like a gotcha moment like the mask situation from,
Right,
like or anything
yeah.
like that. Like it's like, oh, this was him. Like this did happen. Like
right.
yeah. Like,
So yeah, it was well done. I liked everything about the opening. You know, while I watched this movie, and there were some definite parts where I thought, kind of purposefully went back to more of a fun feel, you know, and I just kept picturing Roger Moore doing some of this stuff. Truly.
I never got there.
Oh, well, I mean, he
I was gonna
jumped
say,
on the Komodo dragon for one.
Okay.
Who
You know,
hasn't?
and I'm
He
like,
jumped
really?
on one.
this is like a more specialty. And
No,
there were a
it
couple-
wasn't goofy enough. They didn't go
Hey, it's all right. We'll-
while he was doing it.
Even the
We'll get
credit
to
scene at the
Shanghai.
beginning
Like-
where he connects to the boxcars, I could see that in a Moore film. Anyway, I thought that they took a fun tone with this movie. It was dark, like
Yeah.
parts of it, the cinematography especially. the way it
I
shot,
will say
but it had a
I did laugh
lighter
during the
feel
Kimono
to it
Dragon
as well.
I literally used the word fun in my opening statement. I
Yeah.
said I thought the movie was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a nice couple
just
lighthearted
know-
comments every once in a while.
I just know I did laugh at the Kimono Dragon scene. Like Not when he hopped on it, but when the guy got from behind, I was like, dude, like that I would not even be bothered with Bond at this point.
No,
Right.
not
Like,
at
I was
all.
like, hey, I was like, let's fight up in the casino where I have the advantage. Like, I would have like, I'll help you up too, James. Like, I
Yeah.
would like.
Komodo dragons are nothing to mess
No,
with,
you can't
bro.
even get you can't even get like scratched by those things because the
I know.
bacteria. There's no fucking way. Like, hey, like this is my boss's pet. Like, I don't even own this thing. Like, let's get out of here. Like, this will eat us. Like,
And they're fast.
yeah,
are
they
Yeah.
can
fucking
rear up.
fast.
Like, can you imagine if that reared up on you? Like, there'd be no way.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gone. They can
No.
climb trees.
I
Like,
have it written down over here, like Komodo dragon pit. That's a new one. Like that's what I have written down. It's just because like I was watching, I was like,
some Asian
who-
mafia shit.
yeah, like who thought of this? Like we've seen like shark pits and alligator pits and all sorts of stuff, but no, we got Komodo
I mean, don't get
dragons.
me wrong. I like the idea of a dragon pit, but I mean, like, I'm not gonna want to have to feed the shit. Like,
What did you guys think of on the way to the Komodo dragon pit? The way that was shot with him on
Beautiful.
the boat, just making.
Oh, yeah,
just,
that was
that was awesome.
There was a couple really cool boat
that
scenes
was
actually.
that was honestly, I could see that being a. Honestly, I could see a Roger Moore or like Connery,
That's what
like
I'm saying.
walking off
Yeah.
like that. That seems like a very classy, elegant style, but it's
Yeah.
an elegant casino, so it's like, yeah, like yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it had kind of this Bond had kind of an old school feel to it to me.
Well, but and that's why they did a good job setting it up to what he does become. Like there were a lot of those little like I said, I think it's because we've watched all these movies in chronological order and all like we've seen like I said like that classiness throughout. It's like how do you carry that in a modern time basically? Because like we were talking off camera, like there was some time even between like when this film was shot and the last one released. Didn't you say it was like 4 years in between?
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, just in between first and last film that we've seen, think of everything beforehand. Like, so yeah, it's cool that they carried that into the modern time.
Mhm.
I did like that.
Yeah.
But even like before that, when they got into like to Shanghai, I like how there was no dialogue during Shanghai. Like, it's all just who do you work for? Then that's it. Like, that's all you get. It's all quiet. Like, I love that. That reminded me of the old school Bond stuff because it seemed all spy. Like, I'm just following my mark the whole time, and it's like, oh shit, like this guy's actually gonna kill somebody here. It has killed.
There was a long time without dialogue during that.
It was the entire, and the whole. This is what I mean. Like in that time, it was all blue.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go back and look at it, like all of Shanghai was just blue.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what part, but then you go next to it, it was all like amber or like a yellowish color. And then it became all natural. Like the movie was done in chunks, like color wise. It was kind of cool to see. But in that one, yeah, there was no dialogue and all that. Even when old girls like just looking across, not a scream or nothing. Like I like the Shanghai scene.
Yeah.
What did you
very-
think of Bond letting him kill his target before he did anything?
It's not Bond's issue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not
it's
his
cold,
problem.
but it made perfect sense.
Yeah, that's
He's not overstepping his boundaries.
yeah.
And I would assume that part of it is he wants to minimize awareness of him. So obviously people across the way expect this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So then if he prevents it, then that alerts people.
Well, and
and maybe that causes problems for him,
Because he even assumed that guy's identity though later, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, like at the casino. Yeah, because like that's when he accepted, and then that's why.
Yeah, but that was on the seat of his
But-
pants though, because he wasn't supposed to kill the guy.
no, but still,
Right.
like he did. I mean,
Yeah.
once again, I like very old school Bond, just on the fly. Like, is this you? Like, yes, actually it is.
Right.
Like, you just roll with it and
Yeah.
everything, and you end up in a dragon pit. Like, like I said, it's very Bond-esque. Like I said, it did flow. Like I said, from that to the next scene. Like I said, with that class in between.
Mhm.
Like, I did like that.
So before we get too far away from the beginning, what did everybody think of the song?
I think it's the best Bond song there is.
Really, I can't stand the song.
I think that the song's awesome. I'm not an Adele fan. I recognize she has a great voice.
Yeah, I'm in that boat.
But that song, I think the lyrics are good. They make sense.
It tells you the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like
And
if
the
you,
visuals are awesome
yeah.
too.
That's what it. But once again, if you just watch the opening, like it does tell you the entire movie, either visually or audio. Like you will get the entire story arc wise, like if you actually go back and
Hey,
watch it
Pat.
after watching it. Like,
Hey, you can move to the other chair with the stable mic stand.
Okay.
no,
I was gonna say, sorry, Barry's losing his mic.
no, seats are assigned.
But no, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling the song. I'll be honest with you, the visuals didn't do it for me either. Yeah, I mean, like Tom was talking about earlier, him falling through the sky and all that stuff. I was just kind of like, all right, like, can we get this over with? This only goes on for 6 minutes. Like,
Well, I'm not saying I'm gonna listen to it when I'm driving around, but
well, if you wouldn't listen to it when when it's driving around, it's not. You can't categorize it as great.
oh, I never said it was great. Like I just said that, like, yeah, it was.
I think it's a great song.
Oh, like the song is what it, like it's not bad, but like I said, I'm not gonna bash it. Like I mean, like I said, she's not like I said, she's a good singer or anything. She's not.
She
like,
is a talented singer. I
Yeah,
don't
she's
take
not
that away
like
from her.
choking lyrics throughout the damn thing and whatnot. Like I don't dislike her voice, but like you said, like it is. I give it drawn out, but all the opening sequences are they're supposed to be. So I guess did you like hers or the Jack White song better than? Because I know we all dogged that one.
That was painful, man.
like,
No, it wasn't. I would-
you just physically cringed.
Yeah,
like,
I
it's
wouldn't-
really terrible.
Like,
I
that-
wouldn't say
that's
it
an
was-
actual visceral reaction. You didn't
Yeah.
do that to Adele. Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't say that was the worst song we've heard. We've heard a few really bad songs during these.
let's keep it in the realm of Craig at least. Like I said, yeah, because we've heard some squawking. Like,
we had.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Casino Royale song was great. The Chris Cornell song,
I
I
didn't-
didn't know my name.
I think
that
yeah.
I did.
And
I
then
was
there's
happy
of
with
course the Alicia Keys Jack White song, which I just found.
Yeah, I wasn't a
Gosh,
big fan.
what in the world is this? But yeah,
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on that real quick, just because we talk about it every episode and we kind of skip by it, so I just figured I'd ask about it.
glad you did.
Obviously we have the same M in this movie. Judi Dench is M, and fairly early in the
Wait.
movie.
that. Remember the reset M though. I keep having to remember that.
Yeah, I mean Dench has been around for 2 Bonds now, but she's yeah.
But like I said, it's
Yeah.
not Pierce Brosnan in it because that's where I keep reminding myself of how it because it's the prequel, so it's like this is supposed to be what leads up to Doctor No's M. So you can almost look at
Well,
it like,
Skyfall's the one that the Skyfall's the one that fucks everything up though, because we don't know that anymore. The first 2 were prequels. Skyfall's the one we don't really know about. We don't know really where it falls in the storyline because then once you get to the next two are the end.
This is why they never should have done that.
Yeah.
Just let each Bond movie be its own separate thing. It's silly to try to make it a storyline.
they shouldn't have
So
tried
I
to
don't
fit
know
it
that
in.
Sky. I don't because
They shouldn't have
Skyfall.
tried to
They
fit
talk
it
about
in.
him as being an old man, and they refer to him as an old man and the most veteran agent they have. So it's not new Bond anymore.
That's true. That's
Mm.
true. Yep, they
That's
definitely
right.
made a big deal out of
Mhm.
him being, the ripe old age of 40, whatever he is.
Yeah, I'm not sure how old he is in this movie.
well, I'm going with it that it leads up to Doctor No at least by the end of this movie.
This movie, you might be able to get away. Maybe I'm still not 100% sure you can get
Like I
away with
said,
it.
I don't know,
but-
because like I said, I still have not seen the last one. Like when I go to watch that one, that'll be fresh eyes.
Well, that
first
definitely
time
doesn't lead up to Doctor No.
I know, and that's why I've had people like try to I've told like avoid spoilers because like I mean, luckily there's nothing out there really like advertising or anything. But as long as you don't tell people that, they don't try to spoil it for you. But yeah, I've never seen it, so I have no idea what I'm walking into there. But I know it's not chronological in any way. Like
Well, anyway, back to Judi Dench. She returns as M, but fairly early in the movie, they're pretty much telling her you're fired.
Yeah, she had a rough go of it, didn't she?
Yes, she
The
did.
whole film.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely.
well, you did just lose an agent.
Well, she lost an agent. Her building blew up and lost 6 more agents.
Yeah, like I said,
And a whole fucking hard drive worth
Yeah.
of agents.
I would say
That is my biggest problem with this whole movie.
That's the okay. So that's a question I had.
If we're gonna bring up the hard drive, this is gonna be a long conversation because
Okay.
I have a lot of problems. I have issues here.
yeah, because hard drives back then a bit.
Well, I mean, it was like this, but yeah.
All right. So the question I had about it was, who made it? Why they didn't know about it? And I guess where the fuck? How did they find out that they had it?
And why was it in some room with an agent up? Like, they don't tell you how it got to where it was. Like,
Yeah.
the beginning of the movie, Bond's trying to get it, but there's a dead agent in the room, or a dying agent in the room, I guess. So why was it there? Why would you have a hard drive with that information outside of your facility?
Was it like
Maybe there's a
somebody from the
traitor?
inside? Yeah, like somebody made it and then they brought it out and then tried to sell it back, but then it got caught up and then everybody knows about it, and that's where we're at.
Maybe you're purposefully left to have to guess.
I mean, either way, it all comes back to M. Like, no matter what, it's like the fact is it's gone under your watch, along
That's
with a bunch
true.
of dead agents.
But that's not even my biggest problem though.
Like, it's the
My-
fact that it's all you still that has to answer to this stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Like I said, like, why was that agent there? Whether it was supposed to be like a different type of setup where it was like bait for something and he got shot, even, or if he was trying to sell it legitimately, like, or just got caught up. Like, Bond was still there in some capacity, and so was Moneypenny. So there was knowledge of that disc being there, or that data being there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the agent was full on traitor. Otherwise, Bond wouldn't have tried to save him.
Right.
So
Bond wouldn't necessarily know though.
I mean, he was sent there on a mission, so wouldn't they have given him the information? Hey, your buddy's a traitor. They wouldn't let him walk in and talk to him if they thought he was a traitor, would they? Because that'd be the easy way to get Bond
You
killed.
never know.
I mean, either way, it does seem like I would take it as like it was used as bait in some way, or like Ray said, some type of negotiation thing on a mission went sideways and actually got taken. Like, and then it's like it was probably one of those like, hey, this is a serious situation. Like, this isn't false. Like, when they go to look at it during the drop, it'll register as real, so they'll know it's real. So they'll like buy in perhaps. And then, like I said, old boy got shot, runs in. Like, I could see how, but once again, still on her. Like, even the best case scenario, when you give them every benefit of the doubt, it still falls back like, hey, you were probably told by other people, like, this is dangerous, you shouldn't use this as bait, and you probably said, no, we got it, I trust my agents, and it's gone
I
now.
think something too with a movie, like with any movie, is when you involve computer stuff, like, it's not exciting if it's somebody sitting there typing on a keyboard or whatever. So you make it something tangible, like an item that somebody must retrieve, to make it interesting to people watching it. Otherwise, it's just some dork sitting at a table typing.
I agree, but to go back to what you were saying, Tom, I don't even know if I can get there, because if you think she's like, well, I trusted my agents. Well, if you trust your agents so much, then you should have let Bond get the damn thing back instead of shooting him, because that again was her call.
She had to play the odds.
But she did play the odds. She said, take the shot.
Right.
She was willing to risk Bond's life to get that back.
Right. She
Like-
was
like-
she saw it as sacrificing
Yeah.
potentially his life, not necessarily, but potentially sacrificing his life, and the outcome would be saving
Everybody on that disc.
everybody.
That's what
on
it is. Like, that's the risk there.
And it's cold and cruel, but it's also
Well,
probably
yeah.
the right choice.
It's the nature
Is
of
it
the
though?
si-
Is it though? You're saying that you just think, like, you just said your best agent. And later in the movie, she gushes over and talks about how he's the best agent she ever had and all these things. But you can't trust him to do the mission you asked him to do.
I don't know.
But
I don't know. It
once
was fully about trust at that point.
Obviously, it was.
She's what was the term they used to, the queen of numbers. She's
yeah.
crunching what makes the most sense.
But she wasn't. She couldn't
percentage-wise,
see what was going on, so she couldn't have figured that out. She couldn't see it.
based on the information she had.
But I think that's
That scared the shit out of me. I didn't know what the hell that was.
I just assumed something shorted. But there wasn't a fire, so I didn't care. Like,
Don't
But-
worry, it's just a bug zapper.
but no, I think that's what speaks to why Bond was offended, though. Like I said, you didn't trust me to do my job. Like, you were willing to sacrifice me and everything rather than let me work. Like, that's why he was offended.
Because he went to all that trouble to finally catch up to the guy. He caught the guy and had engaged the guy.
Yeah.
And then you shoot him.
Bond knows the deal, though.
No, he knows that his life is at stake, but that's a totally different thing. Like, oh, when I'm finally doing what you asked me to do, I was way, way, way behind when this all started. The guy got a big, huge head start on me. I found him, caught up to him, engaged him, and then you shoot me.
But see, like,
Bond knows he's a cog in the machine to be used at the discretion of his superiors. He knows that.
I think
Well,
I think he learned that lesson.
but that's
when he
him
got
going
shot.
into a mission. Going into a
I think
mission
that's it.
is him signing off on I could die, but he doesn't expect you to order his death. Because that's what she did. Because there was no shot, not a single shot. He was fucked if she pulled that trigger.
Well,
But I think that's
I
I think that's the lesson he learned, though.
yeah, but I mean, again, M was acting on the information she had. She was told there was no clean shot. That doesn't mean there's no shot.
Yeah, but again, but then again, she's not trusting her agent because her agent is saying there's no shot, and she's like, shoot him anyway.
No, she didn't say there's no shot. She
She's-
said there's no clean shot.
Either way, my point still stands. The point is she didn't trust her agent. Either one of them. She didn't trust Moneypenny either.
But
She's
this
putting
is what
agents out in the
created a
field
bad
and
guy.
just saying, I don't trust anything you do. But then
I'm
later
not saying
saying,
she made necessarily the choice that worked out well, but her choice is utterly defensible given the circumstances.
I don't see it. Because obviously I don't feel like it's defensible at all because I'm not making a single defense for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel like anybody's laid out a quality defense yet, including her in the movie.
Her job isn't protecting James Bond.
I didn't ask
or
her to protect
Moneypenny,
James
or
Bond.
even trusting them.
So if I go to work and
But this is,
every time
you can't
my staff gets in a hard situation, I step in and screw the situation up and take it over myself. Well, that's not me trusting my staff. That's just me taking over and making stupid decisions. That's me being a bad superior.
I mean,
But I think that was also the dynamic of her arc through this movie, though, too. Because you've seen her repeating history with James that she did with Old Boy. Like, that was the whole point of this movie, is that, like, it was the exact same thing that she did to the, what's his name? I can't remember it now.
Well, I mean,
Silver.
she sold him out. It was a little different, but
Well,
yes.
But it's the idea of they both learned the lesson that Barry was saying, is that you are an expendable cog in this wheel. It's a meat grinder.
Mhm.
Like, you are a tool. You will be used as such. You have these skills, and if you get caught, bite that tooth and you die.
yeah, that's the deal.
Like that
but that's not the same thing.
well, it's not
me
entirely.
intentionally going into a mission knowing that I could die is not the same thing if you ordered another agent to shoot me because things are not going the way you want them to.
But she didn't order her to shoot him.
Yes, she did. Because she said, I don't have a clean shot. Shoot it anyway. I'm going to shoot Bond. Shoot anyway. Now you're saying shoot him. That's what she's doing. She's saying shoot him
It was definitely a possibility.
and
that would
hopefully maybe the bullet goes through Bond and hits him too. But that's what she's doing. And she doesn't have all the information either. It's not good
happen. I
leadership.
can't fault her for having a vested interest in what was going on in the moment. I think it would have been weird if she wasn't engaged, right?
I'm not saying she shouldn't be. She should just be aloof. But
Right.
yeah,
Well, she can't just walk away or not provide input. It's on her. It is on her, and she's under a ton of pressure, obviously. And I like the notion that, like, oh, that's James Bond. I'll just let it go and assume that everything's going to pan out in the end. But realistically, in my opinion, she can't do that. She's the one that has to make the calls. She's the head honcho. He works under her. So she's making decisions based on, even if it's not great information, on the information that she has and weighing the risk and reward. And I frankly, while I don't like it, obviously, I do believe she made the right decision to take that shot.
So what is the reward then?
The reward is that you retrieve this drive and you get all of these agents.
You would hope that's the reward. That was the hope.
That's what? How do you accomplish that with what she did?
What do you mean?
How does she
Wasn't the
accomplish?
idea to kill the guy that had it?
But we knew that wasn't
And
going to
then
happen at that. That wasn't going to happen
What
at
do you
that
mean
point.
we knew it wasn't going to happen.
She had no shot, and
But
she's
she didn't
ordering
say
her
I
taken.
have no shot. She said I don't have a clean shot.
Right, which means I'm going to shoot your agent.
No, well,
Yes.
it means it's possible that I do. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to definitely shoot your agent.
Well, yes, it may not mean definitely. If I make a Chris Kyle type shot, maybe I won't kill him. But in all likelihood, I'm going to.
Would you have felt different if they shot and it killed the villain and Bond?
I said that earlier. I said your hope is the bullet goes through Bond and kills him too, because then at least they're both dead.
Because then at least you get your objective. Like you guarantee the objective.
I don't even know if you guarantee anything then, because then they fall off the train and you don't know where the damn drive is either.
Yeah, you send people. There'd be a retrievement team at that point. But I mean, but would that change the dynamic there for you mentally, like for the hurdle? Like,
Maybe. I guess here's what they you were in the military, right?
Yep.
Do people send you on missions and then completely undercut you in the middle of it and be like, "Oh, that was what leadership is"?
Be honest.
No, so they're supposed to set you up for the best possible outcome, and that's what you're supposed to go by. But sometimes shit goes awry, and you got to improvise.
Oh, there was definitely a lot of improvising.
Right.
Yes.
So sometimes you got to figure it out. Sometimes you got to make judgment calls. Sometimes they aren't good. Sometimes they're not very. Sometimes they're bad, but you got to live with the fucking call. Sometimes you got to live with the call. Now, if it was her making that judgment call with the shot, maybe it was a good shot. Maybe it's a good shot. Maybe it's not. But she's got to live with it. Now we know by watching the movie, except for Barry, I guess that was a bad call. But she doesn't.
I'm not saying the call did not work out. I'm just saying it's not necessarily the wrong call to
Right,
make, given the
I'm just-
dynamics at play.
Barry, I'm just fucking with you because
No, it's okay.
But I mean, she had to make a judgment call in the moment, and that's how it goes sometimes. But whether it was good or bad, she's got to live with that, and that's how being in the military. Say I have a shot, and I got to take it. If it's good or bad, I've got to make a call, and it's got to depend on my life and the other guys around me. Now, in that moment, there's only two people there standing: Moneypenny and Bond. Now they've got to make a judgment call. Moneypenny could have said "fuck off" and got court-martialed. So she's got to make a judgment call for herself in that moment as well. And that's just a big scenario of the whole thing is, should I take it or should I not? If it's good or it's not. It's a judgment call, and that's all it was.
So let's change it up just a little bit here because I have more than just this problem with it. Once the hard drive is gone, why do you leave all your agents out there? Why do you not pull your agents out from undercover?
I will say that one I didn't.
Yeah, that seemed like an odd choice.
Well,
I think it's not odd. I think it's blatant,
It's-
like a blatant disregard for everybody. Like you're like, fuck it, just kill everybody then.
Especially after you open the first email and it came true. Like that's my thing. It's no
Yeah.
longer just that this could happen at any moment. We're not sure. Like after you have confirmed evidence, like shit. Like now it's like, how do we systematically pull them out without it being noticed that we are pulling them out? Because then they might just release it all at one time. Like so, it's like you'd have to do it without it looking like you're doing that. Like
I don't know. Yes, you're right. Once things are out there, it becomes a little bit more complicated. But once you've lost the hard drive, Bond doesn't show up for 3 months, and she's just done nothing. She's just sat on her
Yeah.
hands and done absolutely nothing.
she just drank and got yelled at a lot.
I mean, that's very true.
Like it's
Like, she-
complete negligence.
Like you said,
Like,
like,
she
you've
is-
seen the she just spiraled. Like I think that was her own. You almost see like a mirror image between her and Bond with it. Like they're both just go straight to liquor and all that. Like they're dealing with the event in their own ways and everything. Like which I liked watching that back and forth side by side as well.
I don't know. It was I was mind boggled by them not pulling the agents out. Like I couldn't believe even if she wasn't willing to do it, then why isn't Mallory doing it?
Yeah.
Somebody needed to step in and be like, guys, we can't lose all of our agents because of your pride.
It should have been set up as a systematic. I guess you call it a recall. I mean, one by one, or step by step to get them out.
You would
At least the new Q you think would have thought of it and everything.
Yeah.
Well, you would
Like-
think that when you put somebody deep undercover, you would think there's a plan to get them out if something goes awry, regardless of where that thing is that goes awry. I'm obviously not speaking from experience here,
But it also depends on how deep in cover they are. Are they close enough
Well,
to the mission
and
where they're
that's
going
what
to
I was saying,
get it
sometimes
finished in a
those-
timely manner,
Yeah.
or is it so far back
Or like
that
you're
it's
saying,
just like, can we get them out then? Like there's a time frame and purpose and plot to the mission and maybe step by step where they should have went. But they didn't. But to your point, they didn't even try to even get to maybe the first weekers out out of cover.
I don't know. I felt like M came across horribly in this movie. Horribly. It was just piss poor leadership from start to finish.
Hell yeah, but I mean, I think it was supposed to be her. All that was supposed to be coming to light through this movie, like, because like I said, that was what it was all about, like literal, like how you run your organization operation, and like pretty much how you have like has created a certain type of agent who has now came back to betray you. Like, it's like the sins of your past that caught up to you type deal. It's exactly that. It's like, hey, you've been running stuff bad. Here's something you created. Now deal with it. And
That's very true.
He's a trouble for you now. Like,
Yep.
I mean, yeah, she created that monster.
Oh, she definitely created it.
Yeah.
By the way, I do agree with what you said earlier, Barry. He's a wonderful bad guy.
Yeah.
Wonderful bad
He was
guy.
good in Old Country for Old Men.
Yeah, I
too.
was gonna say,
Yeah.
he sells crazy awesomely. Like,
Mhm.
just
Very distinctive look that helps as well.
He's
He looks
al-
very much like he should be a Bond
he's
villain.
always got the weirdest hair, like in every movie. Like, it's like,
But it
He
steps
kind
up
of
the
had
facial
a
expression.
Zoran look to him.
Oh, yeah.
like,
Christopher Walken's guy. Yeah.
fucking Christopher Walken.
But how many? What is this? The third or fourth rogue ex agent we've had?
That's a good question.
I think is what we had.
I mean, there's Trevelyan from
Yeah,
GoldenEye.
okay.
Rebellion. Yep.
Of course, Silva.
I'm trying to think in terms of like Bonds, and Bond
Yeah, and
era was like, I don't
can't-
know if we had a double agent with Connery.
I don't think we did with Connery. I don't think we did.
We didn't have one with Lazenby. Like,
No, definitely wasn't with Lazenby.
And Timmy Boy didn't have one, did he? Not that I remember.
I don't believe so. No.
Oh.
So is it just Trevelyan and Silva?
Man, I could have sworn there was more.
And
than
they're
that.
both very good villains.
They are.
you know,
They
they're
are
made
very
for-
much so.
Good competition.
Yeah, because then because like that's the next closest thing was like the Man with the Golden Gun, to where he was just a hitman and everything. It
Yeah.
was just basically on their level. That was like, hey, I just do this freelance. Like, come work with me and be an independent contractor. Like, just stop working for the government. Like, just
Yeah, work for the Empire. We'll get you building the Death
yeah,
Star.
you'll get a whole island to yourself. Like, just like it's basically Britain. Like, it's fine. Like,
So I wrote this down because I thought it was they did such a wonderful job with it. I thought they did a great job of making Daniel Craig look like shit when he returns from the island. He looked awful.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Like, he really looked bad physically, like facially, and he did a good job of being like looking and feeling run down. Like, you really got that from him.
I
Like,
just
Right.
imagine that's what Daniel Craig actually looks like.
yeah, just sunbaked and drunk for 3 months. So like, just,
Well, it looked like he needed a couple more of those hydros out of that pill bottle.
yeah, I was like, especially when he had to run up on that target and all before. But I don't know. I did like how after that he figured out. I was like, oh, it's the shrapnel and all that. Like, and picked it out
Mhm.
himself. Was like, all right, that's better. Like,
well, didn't they also say that the shrapnel was poisoning him?
Yeah.
The shrapnel bugged me. It's a small thing. But okay, so you go in and MI6, your nation's, leading spy organization, of course, is giving you the once over, because you've been missing for months.
those limey
And
bastards.
and they don't notice that you got shrapnel in you. Of course they would.
They're not gonna.
Anyway,
spend,
that bugged me
They're
a
not
little.
spending taxpayer money to get that.
Not only that,
you
but
pass the test right now, Barry. Like,
he can't take his shirt off without gasping and wincing.
Right.
oh,
Like,
yeah, you see it through the pull-ups. You see it through just trying to even hold the gun up.
Yeah.
But like I said, he's done no type of physical activity except for drinking and fucking and taking pills for the last 3 months. Like, he
Yeah.
probably didn't even know that until the day of, and was like, that's why we probably seen that. I was like, oh shit, like, that's why like it was hard as he just like dug it
Yeah.
out and was like,
And it was all fine, but like, why didn't he go to the doctors and be like, "Hey guys,
Yeah.
I got
Pro-
this.
Well,
I thought that too.
I think it's because Mallory wanted him to fail. Like, he failed all that stuff.
Right.
Like he got. Like, remember, it was pretty much like it was Q swallowing her, not Q, but M swallowing her pride and everything. But like he's gonna pass no matter what. I'm putting him out there, and that's when Mallory was like, "Hey, you've already kind of really screwed the pooch here. Like you should probably just think about retirement. Like why are you gonna put him out there, a failing agent who you've killed once, like to go out there again? Like
Well, that was something I wondered about in that scene because originally I was like, "Oh, look at her blindly trusting Bond again." But then I went back to the before and I was like, she wasn't trusting him before when he was in tip-top shape. So, I guess here's my thing of was it trust or was it like, "Oh, I feel bad for shooting you, so I'm going to let you go back out in the field."
I don't think she feels bad. I think that she knows. Once again, he was offended because you didn't trust me to do my job. That man will do his job at the cost of his own life.
Mhm.
Like, she knows that. Like, not everybody will do that. And it's one of those things like I can put you in any situation and you will be that tool that will break the rules and will do what has to be done to achieve my end result, and I'll just have to like roll with the bureaucratic consequences afterward. Like
Comfort level, I think it's the word we need to use, because
yeah.
I mean that's all she's really worked with that we've known. You know, that's like her right hand man. And why
Well,
would she use anybody else?
and like she is a person of metrics.
Well,
She
he's
knows
not
his
exactly the
path.
same person at this point.
Yeah, but I mean,
I mean, we saw him go through all the tests. He failed all of them.
but I mean, she's
He
out the
was
door
fine when he
anyway.
picked the
So I
shit
mean,
out.
why
Like,
why change it up?
I think the one thing that M definitely trusts about Bond is his instincts.
Mm-hmm.
She probably doesn't trust that he's going to go about things the proper way, particularly in the way that she would prefer that he do things. But she has to know at this point that his instincts are right on.
yeah, like
But
you said,
but he
it'll-
also
yeah,
came back.
Yeah.
He came back, you know, to help the country out or help the agency out. I mean, that's a one up
Well,
already.
But see, that I thought that was a slap in the face. When he came back, one of the first things she says to him is, "You came back because you're the only one that can do this." Well, if I'm the only motherfucker that can do it, then why'd you shoot me to begin with? Because I was doing it.
That's true. That's very true.
I think it's funny, and you keep categorizing it as if she's like put a gun to his head and like blew his brains out. She was presented with a certain situation where she had to either say take no shot or take a shot that's not clean, and she said take the shot that's not clean.
Yeah, but you're not.
She didn't say shoot Bond.
But yes, but she was okay. She didn't say shoot Bond, but she said knowing that this is probably going to hit Bond, shoot anyway.
It could definitely have gone that way. She
But
did take that.
here's the
chance.
thing, though: you're not even presenting all the information because the biggest part of the information is Bond has engaged the motherfucker. My top agent has engaged him and is doing what I asked him to do. So no shot just means I'm going to continue to let Bond do his job.
I was gonna say I loved your wording in that you said that she's holding a gun up to Bond's head, because the end scene is literally him putting the gun in her hand and wanting him to put a bullet through her head and his.
Which was sadistic, by the way.
But that was the thing. Like, here he is. It's the whole thing he's been working toward this whole movie. He has her one on one. He could have killed her at any time. He still couldn't kill her. He still had to give the gun to her and ask her to kill him and sacrifice him a second time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the thing about, because he didn't even want to kill old boy. He told the Scottish guy to get the fuck out of here and everything. Like, he had what he had right there, and it was like, hey, I'm asking you to sacrifice me a second time because like I can't do it. I escaped death before. Like, I'm just killing everybody. Kill me with you because I can't kill you. Like, it was like I said, that ends. There was a lot of symbolism behind all. Like I said, the knife, and even when he turned around, had that wince to like, fuck, like just like looking at Bond again, like you've been messing up my plan this whole movie. Because even right before that, when they're on the damn ice and like Bond like shoots with the AK on it, and then falls through, he kind of just chuckles like, this motherfucker's so dramatic, and just like walks off at like to where it's like I said, going through the same thing he went through, But it's just like, man, just die. Like I'm trying to die and kill the person who's done it to both of us.
Yeah.
Like it was fun to watch the parallels.
Yeah,
Like
you're absolutely
I
right.
think that's where
And
I think that's where he said I had fun with it because like just like the psychology was fun for me behind it. 'Cause like I said, he plays such a good villain.
He does.
yeah. Him never being the one that ever actually had to take the shot, of course, is a big part of this. And, with her even toward the end being like, basically, I can't shoot.
Yeah, when she's
know,
like, I was never good with a
Yeah.
gun.
And then, like you're saying, where Silva is basically,
Yeah, and
she's gone all these years and she's never actually been the one that has to pull the trigger,
they
and do
did-
this. And
I think
he's
they did
forcing
talk about
that
her
upon
past,
her.
though. I think at some point they talked about her past, like the Irish, like fighting the IRA and that kind of stuff, though.
Oh,
I think they did bring that up at some point,
Huh.
like because they talked about her like military past and all.
Mhm.
So it was like they tried to bring up that yeah she did engage in it but wasn't proficient, like
Yeah.
didn't really.
oh
have,
yeah,
like,
because they said
yeah.
she said something about she wasn't a very good shot or
Yeah,
something.
like, it
Well,
was-
she, well, she says I was never good with a gun. But are you sure you're not talking about Mallory? Because he starts to make fun of Mallory, and Moneypenny brings up, oh no, he's not. He wasn't always a bureaucrat because he calls him a bureaucrat. Bond does, and then he's like, I know, and he repeats Mallory's military career.
No, I'm pretty sure this was on her because I was really following her arc because, like I said, it's I don't know. Like I said, the way they killed off the character, like in the Craig series, like almost seemed like they wanted. Because the reason why I distinguished like the reset from the beginning is because if you were to watch her being M and like with the Pierce Brosnan stuff, she just comes across as a bitch. Like it's an entirely different M. Where here you can kind of like they gave her an actual arc and then killed off the character. Like if you watch it and everything,
They humanized her a little bit.
they did, but I think that's because they didn't want to replace her on that type of note on that character. They didn't want to end Judy Dench's M like being known as like, well, she just played a bitch the whole time to Brosnan.
I would say
Like-
this: she never really did that much different. She still was. I think the thing was that Bond just accepted that.
Well, but here, like I said, there was so much of like they tried to show why you perceived her as a bitch more. Like they tried to show like I said, the 3 months with her drinking, getting like chastised by like colleagues telling her like to quit and resign, and, like like now you have to answer for the death of all these other agents, making hard decisions that were right or wrong. Like you didn't get your end goal, so it was the wrong decision, like by your own metrics because you are a numbers person. So it's and like I said, and even for her to realize that and what she's done to and doing to Bond in that moment and everything with like a past agent coming back from her or for her and all. Like you can see her going through her own character development and all. Like it was a better way to end Judy Dench's character arc. Like and
It was an
I
interesting way, anyway.
yeah. Well, like I said, it was better than ending on the Brosnan note.
Well,
Like-
she even got better in the Brosnan movie because that first movie with which movie is that? This first one is that Goldeneye?
Yep.
I mean, she just goes out of her way to be a complete cunt to him the whole time.
They really
Like
tried to-
she's really
yeah,
bad in that
they-
very first movie, but she chills out a little bit after that first
You
movie.
misogynistic dinosaur.
Yeah,
like it was like I said, and I understand it's the writing of the time and whatnot, but like I was just over it really quick. It doesn't withstand the test of time. Like if you watch them in chronological order, yeah, I don't know, it's not palatable. Like these last few movies and everything with her is like I at least get what you've done with the character. Like, and like I said, it's not bad. Like
Sure.
All right, since we're talking about her death, let's talk about her replacement for a second. What do you think of Mallory becoming the new M? I mean, we get to know him a little bit in this movie.
Thought it was a good call back to the old ones, way to kind of like balance out the timeline.
Yeah. I mean, I like Ralph Fiennes as an actor. I think he does a good job, so I don't see why he wouldn't be a good M going forward.
I
Yeah.
think it foreshadowed it throughout the whole thing, and I was fine with it because, like I said, it ends even the way he carries himself, the way you can tell, like yeah, he was pushing M to go ahead and retire and stuff, but at the same time, it's more out of a professional friendship relationship and almost probably out of work friendship relationship. Like, hey, you're ruining your career. Really, you've built up enough reputation. You've done enough. Like, stop now before like it really gets bad and you go down in history as a failure. Like it's you're at the tail end of it. You don't have time to make it any better. Like it's almost like he cares about like her career simultaneously and all. And then even like
Yeah.
and I think he really drives home in the court shootout scene when like he joins in the firefight and everything like that with her and all that. Like it
Well, he saves her.
yeah, well, and that's what I mean.
Mhm.
Like you see that, like, hey, he wasn't this guy that was like, he's not like waiting in the wings to get your job type shit. Like
Right.
it was one of those
Mhm.
like there is a concern on like your decision making, and I'm coming to you one on one out of respect, like professionally, because like, hey, people are talking behind your back, and I want you to know this almost
Yeah,
like.
he's a stand-up guy.
Yeah,
Well,
like, and but like I said, there's a class to it, and even in the end, like you said, you see that part there where it really shows. That's why it wasn't surprising. Like, and he just looks like he belongs to that damn office.
Yeah.
Like it
But
was one of those to where, like Ray said, it was all like boom, it fit. Like
well, let me correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't he take a demotion though?
he might have.
Because if he was Judy Dench's boss, putting her into retirement, and now he's Judy Dench, or like
Yeah.
that would be him taking a demotion, right?
I don't know, and he may have been. I don't know for sure that he was so much her boss, so much as he was kind of just a separate but equal entity. You know what I mean? Um, that's how I read it when they were having their back
I
and
don't know
forth.
British bureaucity.
Right.
Like
He was part of the bureaucracy.
yeah, I just
and
know that
she wasn't
yeah.
like directly answerable to
Like
him.
even
But
I would like to I would like to buy into that and say yeah, I'll say he took the demotion because why not? Because like you've seen throughout the movie, the more he became involved in it, he liked it. Like when he was helping out the new Q and everything, like figure shit out and everything when they got hacked and whatnot, like and when he's like in the firefight and like there were a lot of times where you seen it like he wanted to be a part of it again.
Yeah.
Like he wanted to be a leader.
And sometimes that happens. Like if
Yeah.
you want to stay in long enough and get your retirement, or even past your retirement that you're supposed to be forced out, they'll stay in and take a lower billet just to stay in.
I can see that. Like I said, if it's something you love, like I said, it's not work. Like I said, you could tell, like you could see it in his character throughout those moments in the movie of like, yeah, you're loving this. Like, and the courtroom scene just nailed it to where like you're fucking in it. Like it's like, yeah, this is serious and people could die, but it's like you're enjoying this and everything. This is where you want to be.
And
Like,
plus, I mean, can you really can you categorize as running MI6 as a lower billet? I mean, you kind of running the whole spy network in Britain.
yeah, yeah, it's like they're CIA. Like
Yeah.
it's like, oh, is head of the CIA really a demotion? Like
It's
just
like
like
head of CIA, or do you want to be a head of, all the security branches?
yeah, like it's like
I think I'll take a step down, me personally, and I'll just run this little group here.
but no, I did like that. Yeah, that transition.
Well, speaking of new people, we also got a new Q in
Yeah.
this movie. What did y'all think of the new Q?
I didn't mind him.
I mean, yeah, I didn't mind them. They really drove. I mean, just in the reverse dynamic and everything, rather than like the Bond being young and Q being old and playing on that, they
Mhm.
played on the opposite of like Q super young and he's old. They made the old war horse jokes or warship and
Yeah.
all that, and it's like, did you expect an exploding pen type shit like or like the whole fingerprint gun thing that was just fucking worthless during Shanghai like.
Well, I did stop him Bond from dying once.
Yeah, but that's just one of those things. I'm so glad that technology stopped making us like point in movies. Like I don't know, it was around everywhere for a while on action movies.
And I know this isn't Sports Nemo way, but I'm going to quote Stephen A. Smith. He was
I
he was
gonna
young.
say,
He was young. He was wet behind the ears, smelling like Similac.
so what gadgets were actually? I know they had the radio transmitter, which is
Yeah.
kind of
it's
it's fine. but
called radio. Yeah.
it's fine. And the gun, of course.
That's it.
The old Aston Martin still had its stuff.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, but
But-
that was Bond's personal Aston Martin. It wasn't given to him by Q.
But either way, like it was, I loved that reveal because that was another one. Once again, going back to where we're going in the homage, like, because you even got the old theme song. So even if
Yeah.
you had never seen a James Bond movie, you automatically knew as soon as he unveiled that car that that is a James Bond car.
Mm-hmm.
Like because you just hear that dun 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 dun, dun and then just like driving around.
Yeah.
And even like the joke like, oh, go ahead and eject me, see if I care. Like the fact that you even like talked about the old gadgets that we would know and everything at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, at this point, Q almost did like what we kind of seen in the earlier Bond films, that like it's very minimalist in terms of spy equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not about the gadgets and everything. We went through that arc already to where like now it's about like, hey, here's a radio, here's a gun that only you can fire. Like
You
have fun,
prefer
man.
that, huh?
I like it's more realistic and it
Mm-hmm.
gives you at least something to build on with a new character. Because like I said, at this point, like I didn't even expect I didn't expect another Bond movie after this one. Well, like to be honest with you, so it was one of those things. Like I said, in my eyes, like when this came out, this was going to lead up to Doctor No, and now we're done. So I didn't expect to see Q after this. So that's where my mind was when seeing that. To where I was like, all right, I get it. And then later on, we get that arc again. So we seen it, done it again, and it'll come back. Like
Yeah.
that's how I interpret it, at least.
I don't know what the next two movies, hold in terms of, the Q stuff. I guess I do have a slight concern that it's all going to turn into, I'm typing on my keyboard, you know, maybe it won't, because when he said like, oh, we don't, with the pen thing, like the
Oh
the
yeah.
exploding pen's great, but when Q says like, oh, we don't go in for that sort of thing, we don't. I love that sort of thing, you know. Give me that.
Yeah, it's Bond like signature stuff.
Yeah.
But at that point, I would imagine that, like I said, in my mind, if it comes up, it's going to be very mission specific. Is all it would be to where like, oh, you're going here, like it kind of like what we've seen with like the minimalism from Russia with Love. It's like, hey, suitcase with some gold, you can spend gold anywhere. Like, came up, you use it as a bribe later on. Great foreshadowing, like, and just little everyday type get. Like I said, nothing over the top. Like not on a
Not a
remote.
submarine
Yeah,
Lotus.
not a, yeah, or like or the remote control car where you can lay in the back seat and just play your phone and drive it around and shoot the machine gun and stuff. Like it's way more reliant on your skills as an agent and how you use this as a tool rather than
Spy-listic.
like yeah, like that's what I kind of liked about it. Because once again, it's still beating that drum that this movie did throughout the whole thing of like this is the beginning. Like this is what's leading up to what we know is the beginning of James Bond.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see going forward about Q, but in this movie,
Yeah,
he's not
yeah.
overly impressive.
No, it was
Yeah,
it was
I
an
neither.
introduction.
I didn't dislike him or anything, but it's like, okay.
You know,
But I mean, even so, let's be honest, it took a while to develop him, even in the other movies. Like,
I guess here's my thing: is like if your only thing you do is computer work, and the first time you get to actually do something on a computer, you almost destroy the whole country. You're kind of a fuck up at this point. Like you got to redeem yourself. Like he only got one. He only had one thing to do, and he screwed it up.
Because he's wet behind the ears, smelling like Similac.
So,
yeah, like,
and he was very, very sure of himself. Pretty much said Bond was irrelevant and wasn't needed. I can do everything better than you.
but
Yeah.
once again, I would say that's where I would play that up. That's still playing on the dynamic between the youth and the age. Because
Yeah.
that is a very youthful mentality. That's that I know better despite your wisdom because I grew up in the now. Like it's like you both have knowledge for the present, but like one's accumulative and one's current is all. Like that's really all you're arguing.
Very true.
So now we have one more new character in Moneypenny, which obviously had some changes as well. I mean, for the biggest change is Moneypenny as a field agent instead of the lady behind the desk.
But I like how we saw, like I said, the backstory that led up to that. Because like, you never really get anything about her in the old movies. Like, so I mean, it's she's just there.
Yeah.
She's always there from the start. So I kind of like that reveal at the end.
I find it weird that they never exchange names.
Well, but like I said, that was done.
You go on multiple missions together and you
Yeah.
don't tell each other your names.
Well, it was. I'm all right. We'll get into this. Like, did they fuck?
Well, I have that written down over here.
Like, we'll just say because I'm in the camp of yes.
There is a lot of hinting around and a lot of
There's a
comments made,
There are a lot.
but they never ever even hint at it physically.
I don't know if they don't hint at it physically when they're one on like face to face and everything later on. Like,
The
Yeah.
shaving scene was very intimate.
yeah, that dialogue back and forth, and then when they go into like in the casino when they're talking about like that incident, that dialogue is what leads you to believe that something happened there.
They do lead you to believe it.
Because it was like, oh,
Yes.
because what did she say? Like,
She's like, oh, it was
another close shave.
another close shave. Yeah, it's
something
about
like
the
that.
shaving stuff. Yeah.
It's. But I will say, because I'm in the camp that they did, but at the same time, I know that the storyline leads you to believe that they didn't, from what we know. And the woman that played Moneypenny, she even went on record to saying like she tried playing that character with that in mind that they didn't. So even she tried to
Oh,
make
you talking about Naomi Harris?
yeah, she even like tried to like give off the feeling that they could have at any time, but they didn't. Because I tried to find a definitive answer for this argument and all, but I want to be in the camp of yes. So that's where I'm going. I don't know how you want to do that when it comes to numbers at the end.
I don't think we can count it.
I wouldn't.
I'm putting
It's
an
not confirmed.
well,
It's not a confirmed kill time.
I'll give you that. Like,
But I also go on record and say I find her more attractive in Pirates of the Caribbean than I do in this film. I don't know what it is.
like that scurvy look, don't you?
I don't.
guess so.
I don't.
Huh?
I don't.
You don't like her as Callisto?
Dude, bro, I'm not saying she does a bad job as Callisto. I'm saying she's not attractive as Callisto.
I don't know. She
She's like
gives
a
me that.
sea witch, isn't she?
Bro, you spent 4 episodes of this podcast talking about eyebrows. You're talking about a woman with black teeth
Hey,
Dude,
that's,
and talking about how hot she is.
hey, that's the pirate way back in the day, son.
Gingivitis is a mood killer. It's like, no, I'm very, you can't do that. You gotta have good oral hygiene. Like, that is, nope. Like, call it a first world problem, Ray, or whatever, but that's my standard. I don't know. Like, it's like,
Well, I've actually run out of notes. Does anybody else have anything they want to talk about movie-wise?
I don't think so.
oh, I don't know. We didn't talk about like the Bond girl or everything. They got like,
Well, she
That's
wasn't
true,
in
we
there
did.
very long.
Yeah, what Barry said earlier, she got 6 minutes of screen time.
yeah, and then shot. If only Bond would have known what the game was. Like, he could have won earlier. Like,
She's an interesting character for what they offered. They
Like
gave a
that,
little bit of her
yeah.
background, which was horrific, of course, and this
Yeah.
bad situation that she finds herself in, where basically she's just a pawn,
Okay, so let
it's a lot of the same backstories you've heard from a lot of the other Bond girls. Like,
Well, yeah.
they just didn't give her like a redemption arc in it that I thought was interesting. Because usually there's like, in the older movies, like the older ones especially, there was always like a way that these women would try to redeem their character morally or ethically before like something would happen. Where like this one, they didn't give her the chance. You just kind of walk out and she's got the he's gonna have the drink on her head and it's like, hey, we're gonna play a game.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
it's a waste of good scotch.
I guess
Well,
here's my thing with her. Like, it's like, oh, what was her purpose? I feel like if you took her out of the movie doesn't change.
Yeah.
She was completely purposeless. Because she was brought there to do what? Because she's like, well, as soon as I leave, they're all going to kill you. And that's obviously what they try and do. But, like, so why didn't they just have them there waiting for him and kill him? Why did she need to be there to begin with if they weren't going to use her as a distraction either? Like, what is the point of her? And then he sleeps with her, which is fine. But then, and then she gets shot 5 minutes later. So, like, what was the point of her?
eye candy.
Yeah, it was that bridge to get to the island, really.
Well, it's kind of like the
like I
Indiana
said,
Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark thing.
Yeah, well, and that's
You don't
all it
really
was.
need him in the movie to get to the end point.
Because they're on the boat, like like what's gonna happen. Like she told him, it's not too late to turn back. Like like no, it's fine. Like turns around, I'm like, oh, I think it is. Like just like all the guys with the guns, like yeah, like. But once again, like why wouldn't you kill her at that point? Like because like I said, you pretty much like all right, so you brought the guy who's after me to me and everything. It's like all right, like I'm gonna prove a point to him by just killing you, and I can kill two birds with one stone. Like literally, like. I mean,
Yeah.
it's and like you said, because the character is expendable. I was saying, I just think it's interesting they didn't give that character type any type of redemption arc on it,
Yeah,
because
I
usually
agree.
they do, and I think that I don't know if it was like to show the ruthlessness of his character or what, but I just thought that was like a weird thing to where like, all right, they just offed her,
Yeah.
like
It was different.
It was a change up.
But then I'll say I did like the helicopter when he drove in with the helicopter at the end too. They did all that Home Alone like fighting and everything and shit, and all that like it was like adult Home Alone.
Yeah,
It was
you're
like
right.
Kevin McAllister would love this
I
shit.
saw Michael Jordan
Like,
cut out in Skyfall.
yeah, like and then he just comes in and even like the lyrics to that song had me cracking up and everything because it even does talking about like shooting and everything like that, just boom boom. Like I was like, oh yeah, like they did a lot of great things with the imagery here, and they just lit up that house like
There was times where I was kind of like yelling internally in my brain, like, "You old fucks, move faster, move fucking
oh
faster."
yeah, we were
No,
going through like I was
The
like,
flashlight thing infuriated me.
Yeah, that too.
What are you
oh
doing?
yeah, that
What are you doing?
I would have said just stay in the tunnel the whole
oh,
time.
but what I said but a few things there like I did like the whole like when Bond said I fuck always hated this place or whatever like before he left I was like I believe that because you said it with no one around so you meant it like I was like fuck this place like it's okay if this place burns like go Bond like good there but then I like that scene even because like when they are in the pursuit of them because of the flashlight, they made it so realistic because he like trips and falls like 4 or 5 times, like because you wouldn't see shit. Like it's
Yeah.
like you're trying to walk around the Scottish Highlands or whatever, bright ass fire that darkens everything here. You can only vaguely walk to where you've seen a fucking flashlight. So it's
Yeah.
like you're gonna be tripping and falling and fumbling. It just looked really real to where I was sucked into the scene. It was good.
Yeah.
Like I just liked how after we got over like we'll say like the action part or like the fun part, what I would say is the Home Alone scene of that, and then the serious part is when the helicopter showed up. Is like you're not gonna paint can your way out of this. Like I'm gonna fuck shit up with a 50 caliber and all that. You better get down to that basement or I'm mowing you down.
Yeah,
Like
I just kept waiting for the house to go.
that's why you gotta. That's why
Like-
all houses need to be made out of stone, Alex. That's what we learned from this. Like we just need to bring back old school masonry and just call it a day. Save the trees. Like,
Fair enough.
but no, I'd say like that's like because we already talked about the end and then how it led to it. So yeah, we talked about all the like pretty much all the new characters that led to who we know now. So it's all about where they take the storyline from here in the next two.
Yep.
I have faith it's going to go well.
I don't know about that. Like,
Yeah,
just,
keep
like,
rubbing that rabbit foot.
I think it's all downhill from here.
I want to believe it. Well, because that's another thing is you always hear that like art because what we've seen too, right? 3. Yeah, I'll call this. We'll call this roughly the center because usually they say like in every Bond arc, it's like the center movie is always the best one and it drops.
Mm.
That's why I don't know if I have faith, and especially like I said, if what I've heard is said, like I said, where does the storyline go after here? Like, are you just inserting shit now, like randomly, or where am I supposed to believe this? Like the next one's insert at? Like it's gonna be funny to see where it goes. I think.
This has been probably these 5 movies are probably like a callback and a lot of Easter eggs throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Major stuff.
There was a decent amount of callbacks in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like even when he like gives the baggie to Tanner, he's like for her eyes only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
There was some fun with the dialogue. Like I said, this movie was done well. Like
it was.
like I said, because I went into it, like I said, not a Craig fan, still dogging him kind of in my mind, and but no, I will say I liked what they did with this movie. Like it was hard to find like anything that I didn't like. It would be me being the just nitpicky, I guess.
Yeah.
And it would be only me being nitpicky because we have watched all the movies in a row. Like so it's like I can be nitpicky, but had I not done that, I probably wouldn't be that big of a bastard about it.
Yep.
Fair enough. Anybody else?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. Well, that'll wrap up our Skyfall talk and lead us into our rankings. And first and foremost, I think we need to add to our body count.
Oh yeah.
You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I do believe we got a 2 in this movie.
Is it 2?
He slept with the girl at the beach, and then he slept.
Oh,
He
yeah.
slept with the Bond girl.
Yeah.
So 59.
59 and 24 movies. So it's definitely not a bad number, but we have slowed down. All right, now we can move into our Bond girl rankings.
All right, let me get to that one.
Gentlemen, are you ready for this?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. Well, Barry, where do you put Severine or Severine or whatever her name is on your Bond girl list?
Where's the headshot of her at?
I liked her,
The bottom right.
but she was in it so little
Oh, that's a
that I'm gonna put her dead last.
Oh,
Yikes.
And that's not because I think she's unattractive or anything.
well. Like I said,
She's just such a minor character, really.
she's a super minor character, like you said. She's barely in the movie. She's pointless, and she dies. Like it's not very Bond girl esque. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
So it's the woke Bond girl movement. That's what
Yeah.
happens. Like all of Craig's Bond girls die. Like,
So Ray, where do you want to put Severine?
I think just on attractiveness alone, I got to put her at 3.
What? 3?
that shower scene really got you, huh, Ray?
Yeah.
Like just
He's-
which I would after hearing about her past, I would be very wary about like walking up behind somebody who's been traumatized like that when they're naked in
Yeah.
the shower.
Very
Like,
true.
it's like I'm gonna let my presence known. I'll like shut a door loudly. Like hey,
Yeah.
I'm not sneaking up on you. Like that's like yeah. Like I just saw that. I was like, yeah, this is the creepiest Craig's been. I think. Like just because
When he did that, I was like, "What is this, Sean Connery?"
yeah, I was like, yeah. Well, at least Connor would announce so. Like, this is what I'm doing. Like would have said it. Like, just Craig just like creeped on it. Like,
So Tom, where you at, buddy?
oh, I mean, like I said, I was more on the bottom. I was gonna go somewhere around like 25-ish or so.
20. There is no 25.
Or what? No, what the?
You're gonna put her even further back.
19.
19.
I was looking at the
19.
wrong number,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna go 15. So 15,
Well,
19, 24, and then we have number 3 up there. So Ray, you want to make your case?
She just hella fine, dog. That's it.
She's a beautiful woman. There's no
Yeah.
doubt about it.
I mean, she is a beautiful lady. Yes, she's definitely prettier than old Bouvier.
I'll give you that one. She is.
So now we just need to find some common ground ultimately,
Yeah.
huh? Well, I
Oh.
think
I don't know how to counter Ray's argument. Like,
yeah, there's no counter.
Yeah, you
to
can't
it.
counter the she's hella fine,
yeah,
dog.
like no.
And-
Like, just like,
And my ranking, you can disregard my ranking because I rank them differently than you guys do. So you guys can just settle
but here's
amongst
the thing.
yourselves.
You make sense on your ranking in this case because yeah, the utility was nonsense. Like I said,
Yeah.
she was basically the bridge to just get to the island and all that. And after that, yeah, once you're on the boat, yeah, they're gonna take you there because they want you there.
Mm.
Like you were pretty much just the bait the whole time. Like, I mean,
Yeah. So like usefulness 0 out of 24. Purpose 0 out of 24.
But you
And then
guys never rank
attractiveness,
based on that. though.
3 out of 24.
So it's solely attractiveness.
Yeah.
You guys start talking about her role in the movie, then I have to start mocking you, right?
I'm not.
oh yeah,
No.
rightly so.
Yeah.
Like, which
I
I'm
mean,
not
this
talking about her
episode-
role in the movie. Equally useless and all that. I get it and all. Like,
I mean,
mean,
any
let's-
other
let's-
episode, I'm using that to my advantage. But
like I
this
said,
one, I'm just going to base off attractiveness
I'm more
alone.
criticizing the creepiness of Bond in this one. Like,
I will say this. This is the way I thought about it, right? I think, looks wise, she looks very similar to number 12, without as much. I don't know.
She's got more of a hardness about her than
Yeah.
12.
She's she's a poor man's number 12. That's the way I looked at it.
I don't know. She's got more of that like vibe and that little mystique to her.
She got what
She's
now?
got an exotic
Little
look.
like a vibe and like a little mystique to her. Yeah, 12 is just fucking annoying.
Aren't you the
Absolutely.
one that is constantly talking to us about how they have to have big hands? And
No.
yeah, that's
Big
you.
hands?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
I like the argument, but I don't know if Ray's made it with the Bouvier thing. Like,
it was, or it was a huge ass. You had to have a huge something one day because you sat here and argued with us for a whole episode about
calling you out on your
how
fetish
you
on
had
the
they had to have
I think it was hands. He likes big hands on
Yeah.
the
big hands and no eyebrows.
yeah.
Big hands. Was it
like
like
big
Seinfeld
man
episode?
hands
Yeah.
on a woman.
Man hands.
Got man
I
hands.
don't always have a bottle opener, damn it. Like, just like,
Oh shit.
I mean, I can come up definitely and hover with you around the 15, 14 area.
I mean, I'm not gonna argue too hard. If you guys want to put her lower, that's fine. But I just thought her she was attractive 3 level myself.
I mean, I'm not trying to argue too much, Ray. I can't see her in Kim Basinger level.
Oh.
And higher than Christmas Jones. I mean, I can't get there. Denise Richards.
Equally worthless. Like,
She was at least a scientist.
yeah, but she
Maybe
was,
I just got a thing for Asian women.
But-
I guess
but
I,
once
because
again-
I thought that girl that got killed in that which one was it before
Oh.
Kissy? I thought she was
Oh,
up
yeah,
there
and
too.
that-
She was the better of
yeah,
the
that-
Bond girls
yeah,
in that
that's
movie.
what we were all upset about in
Yeah.
that one. Yeah,
I
they,
don't
Maybe I
remember
just
her
like
name,
Asian women.
yeah, they killed the
So
they killed the wrong one. Like,
So you guys need a mediator ultimately. We got what 3, 19, and 15.
Yeah.
what? Oh no, I saw it would come up, Barry.
Yeah, Tom made a sacrifice.
Yeah, like I'm okay.
All right.
Where'd you put her?
I'm coming up around like the 15, 14 range. Like I will go up as high as 12.
Okay.
Like I'll compromise and
Like,
I'll come down to 16.
oh,
I'll hella compromise for that.
Wow, you'll move all the way to 16.
You
Huh?
want
Yeah.
to
Oh man. Well, I think that's a deal they pretty
Okay.
much have to take.
yeah, I was say like it's, yeah.
All right, deal. 16.
Deal? Okay, good. Let me get
He's
this all
moving. He's
fixed.
keeping Bouvier at 15.
Remind me never to let Ray make deals on my behalf.
So this is how shitty politics are created. Like, just like.
Oh my gosh. All right, I'll fix this later. Bye.
All right, gentlemen, that will lead us into our movie rankings, the most important rankings we have.
This will be an interesting one.
So, Barry, where do you want to put Skyfall on the overall movie list?
Well, again, based on how this is comprised, I would put it right around. I can't believe Never Say Never Again's at number 7. That's nuts. Let's go ahead and put it at 7.
7.
I thought 7, huh?
Oh,
I'm a little surprised at you, Barry.
Hmm.
no, honestly, I'm right with you, Barry. I was gonna say 7 because I honestly think it's good. It's a good enough modern take that I think it would be a great introduction to a younger generation to get them to buy into it, to where you could have them watch just Skyfall and then be like, hey, now if you watch the older ones, boom, like you jump forward and all that. I think it's a good buy-in film because I think, like you said, there's enough of the fun action scenes, and then you get like this more serious stuff that follows.
Yeah, and it's
Like,
very stylishly shot. There's
Yeah.
lots of good stuff.
it sets you up. Like I said, there's enough in it that I think you'll find something in the other ones when you watch it, even if it's a reference, like he said. Like either it's a dialogue or like, oh, that was the door, or that's the car, or
Stepping on lizards.
yeah, here's the pen, yeah. Like,
So Ray, where did you want to put it?
Well, that's the thing.
That's a funny answer. That's the thing.
Because I think it's,
it fucking sucks. Like,
well, no, because I think it's better than Casino Royale.
it's very true. I believe the same thing. Oh,
Which
no.
is
You just put it
weird.
3
No,
steps
yeah, never
below
mind.
that.
Yeah.
See, this is the difficulty with the cumulative ranking based on all of us coming to agreement, because then each of us is now making sure that, like, oh, I love that movie. I don't want to go in down further. That sort of thing. So,
No, because yeah, that's my thing. It definitely beat Casino Royale in my mind.
same with
But-
me,
But does
but I
it
still
beat?
landed at 7.
But does it beat From Russia with Love?
No, I think From Russia with Love, I think is a more iconic film.
What about Goldeneye?
I think GoldenEye is the more iconic film.
So what was the reasoning behind putting Casino Royale at 4?
It's a great movie.
Wade has a hard on for Craig. I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't think Wade pushed it. Wade was pretty quiet.
No,
with
it
it.
was
And
me.
Wade's all-time favorite movie is Skyfall. So,
And I can see why. Like, but yeah, I can't. I honestly, for the life of me, can't remember.
But you think it's better than Never Say Never Again?
Yes.
That's funny that that's even a question.
I just like it's funny that you're like it's laughable. Like, just
I mean,
like-
it kind of is. And I like Never Say Never Again, but it's not a particularly good movie.
I'm gonna go 6. I think I'm gonna keep it at 6.
I was gonna go with 5. So
5?
we're all right there together.
yeah.
5, 6, and 7.
Well, then I'll cede to wherever you guys wish to place it in that area.
Well, Tom, do we meet Ray in the middle?
I can swallow and come up to 6 just because a lot of the words I just used in this episode was referencing the stuff in From Russia with Love and all that. Like you said, a lot of the great iconic things they pulled from those early movies and put it in here, and they basically just gave me nostalgia. Is what this movie did. Like it gave, like I said, it just reminded me of all the movies we've watched in like the past however many months, like power wash and whatnot. And it's like, hey, I liked all those things, and I even picked them out and talked about them. Like, and now you're giving me everything I liked in one movie. That's cool. Like,
All right, so 6 it is.
Okay.
All right. Well, that wraps up our Skyfall episode. And please join us next time for our next Craig episode with Spectre,
Yeah.
the second to last Bond movie.
which we actually first time we get to see Spectre, right? Like officially see Spectre and all that, because it's not Spectre in the other like earlier. What is it? It's what is the organization they call it?
Oh, it's Spectre.
Is it?
You're probably thinking of
Qua- like-
Hydra from the
No,
Marvel stuff.
Quantum or whatever. it is.
Quantum. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably what you're thinking.
Well,
Quantum.
Yeah.
Quantum was in the last movie.
Yeah.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. Which I think we talked about. Quantum is a offshoot of Spectre.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like but we haven't seen anything directly Spectre yet. Right?
we haven't seen Spectre in Craig's movies yet.
Yeah, that's
We
what I
have in
mean.
other people's movies, obviously.
But
Yeah.
once again, the premise being that these are the prequels, haven't seen.
It's kind of like Hardee's and Carl's Jr. Hardee's is the main name, and then you got Carl's Jr. on the West Coast.
I think Carl's Jr. is the main name.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, then Hardee's is a sister company.
Well, it's yeah. In any
All-
case.
All right. Well, that'll wrap up our episode. We appreciate you tuning in and tune in next time to Blockbuster Bums.